episode 2 of my video game FLAPPATRON, available right now on Steam. I heard you love opinions. Here's my opinions on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, or Last Order. It's Fallen Order, isn't it? It's definitely Fallen Order. Now, disclaimer, I have not beat the game yet. I've just done I've got to the ice place, without any spoilers. There's an ice place, and there's a part on it where you get something to fix something, and then you have the choice of different somethings, which is pretty cool. And then I've just basically done that and then saved it as I've just done that part. So I don't know how far that is. I think I'm kind of maybe like three quarters in, I would assume, judging from the way the story's going. If I'm halfway, I'll be surprised. And if I'm at the end, I'd be a little bit surprised as well. I think I'm around like 3/4. I imagine anyway. So, what do I think of the game? I tell you what, it is so much better than I thought it was going to be. I was so impressed off the bat, because especially since the Star Wars films, well, Last Jedi and the newest one are crap. I love Episode 7, don't care what anyone says, I think it's the best film. Woo, controversial opinion, but that's my opinion. So in terms of Star Wars games, nothing's really been like, oh man, this is amazing. Even Battlefront 2, everyone says it's really good now, and I played that recently, I downloaded it, I played 3 games, I'm like, oh man, this is actually really annoying. I don't find this that fun. But I guess because I've been playing a lot of COD recently and I just prefer that style and aim down the sights and whatever. But it just feels nice to play a Star Wars game that feels very Star Warsy. And one thing I've noticed about this game is that Star Wars really does have its own identity and its own thing, you know? It is like this weird, almost like dystopian future. Like everything's so kind of old school but also new, and it's got like a really nice charm to it. And I can see like why people still hold it dear, and when you play a game, it just feels like Star Wars, and I do love that about the lore and everything. You know, I've been noticing it more lately that I'm older now, I guess, and I'm playing stuff. I'm like, oh, I just can tell it's Star Wars. It's so Star Wars. I love it. But I'm really surprised at how good it is. I really liked it. When I got to the first planet and then the combat, how it felt and everything, I was like, wow, this actually feels really good and it's really satisfying. And it's really fucking hard at first, because it's kind of like a mix between Dark Souls and Sekiro, however you say it. Maybe a little bit more like Sekiro in a way. But at first I was like, God, this is so hard, I keep getting wrecked. But then once you get into it, and you kind of you do have to try. It's not a game you can just be like, oh, fuck it, whatever. And I will admit, I have put the difficulty down to story, because I will admit, I have like fucking 10 games I need to play and beat. So I did reach a point where I got to this massive boss, and I thought it'd killed me about 3 times. I went, oh man, I just want to get past this now and just carry on the story and just enjoy the game, just for like more, just chill and play it. I don't have to try hard anymore, you know. So I will admit that I have put a difficulty down for, I guess, from this point on for the rest of the game. I might change it back, I don't know, because I'm just not in the mood to proper try hard. But if you are somebody who will stick with the difficulty, it is quite difficult, and it is pretty challenging. Then the most I died was 3 times on one boss. It's a lot easier than, say, something like Dark Souls or Sekiro, though, obviously. Way easier, but it's really fun. The platforming feels fun. I like all the moves you can get, I like the progression. It does so many things right. And I remember thinking, how's this game only got like 79 on Metacritic or something? This is amazing. But then the more I play it, I was like, oh, I can see why now. It is very fucking buggy. It's a very buggy game. And I don't know, because I'm playing on my Xbox One S. I have got an Xbox One X, but whenever I play a 4K game, which is 4K enabled on my Xbox One X, it always goes, and then it just powers down itself. So I think maybe it's a defect. I might take it into like a shop or something. But I've been playing on just a regular Xbox, so the graphics won't be as good and the textures and stuff. But you know, sometimes a game looks amazing, the graphics are great, but other times the textures don't load and it looks really weird, and I can't tell if that's like the graphics how they're meant to look, or if they're meant to look better. I'm always in a weird spot of like, does this look good or not? Because sometimes the textures just don't load for like a minute in the area I'm in. You know what I mean? So graphically, it's very odd. Frame rate as well, like it stutters quite a lot and it's quite slow, and I guess you give it the benefit of the doubt because the game as a whole is really fun. But I can definitely see why this isn't getting like 10s and stuff, and especially the controls on that one bit. You know, on the parts when you're sliding down areas, and you gotta move left and right. Like those feel like shit. Those feel like Sonic 06 kind of level. The levels on Sonic 06 where you run forward and gotta move left and right. It feels like that. It feels really bad. So I can see why it's around that kind of area. But it's so good in terms of the gameplay and everything, and the story and everything, and the voice acting and the characters. I really like it. I'm very invested in the story. I will say there's a woman character, I forgot her name now. Her eyes freak me the fuck out though. Why are her eyes so fucking big? They're full on bulging. Whenever she talks, she's like, I always feel like she's literally like scared 24/7. Like eyes like, Cal, are you gonna be okay? And she's talking really calmly like, Cal, are you gonna be okay? I'm like, oh my god, your eyes! You should be the Guinness World Records for biggest bulging eyes of all time. Jesus! But she is well acted. As for the main character, I'm surprised because Cal is actually quite a likable protagonist as well. He's actually a bit more like, not rough, but a bit more like, you know, a bit weary, a bit distrusting of people, which I didn't think he would be at all. I thought it'd be a really, you know, a proper goody two shoes, this ginger goody two shoes guy. But what I like about Cal is that he's a bit of a dweeb, but he's also a dweeb that, like, you know, you kind of like, and he's kind of cool, you know? You're not playing as, like, a badass... You know, you're not playing as a badass Jedi. Like, you're just not playing as a badass Jedi. You're playing as a scared kid who, you know, survived the purge, who's become pretty, like, you know, distrusting of people. He's quite closed off, but he's still a dweeb. I don't know, there's something endearing about him. And I really like his character a lot. I think he's a really cool protagonist, and I'm very invested. The guy who plays him does a really good job. Maybe not as much the child parts. I mean, I think there's a clip going around of him going, Wah! As a kid. No, it's not terrible. Like, I feel like that bit could have been better. But all in all, the acting and stuff's really good. I really like the villain. I forgot her name now. Is it the first sister or something? She's really cool. I like her a lot, and I like her voice actress, like her voice, like what she's about. She's really cool. Just characterization is really great. So far, the planets have been very varied as well. I will say there's been a bit more greenery than I would have liked. You know, I haven't really gone to a proper, you know, like a volcano planet yet, or a desert planet. I haven't gone to anything like that yet. It's only been like, a lot of it's very greenery, and then you've got like this kind of earthy, weirdy place, like a dystopian, like cliffy kind of area. It's hard to explain. And then there's the ice place I'm just at, as I said. But I don't know, the enemy variety, I'm surprised at how much enemy variety there is, and each one feels like they've got their own little unique strategy to beat. I think it's a really good game. I just think the only downside to it is it needed some polishing. It needed like an extra couple of months in development, or just a bit longer, maybe even like a year, just to really make it just absolutely incredible. I really think if they had just polished it a bit, it could have been probably Game of the Year, really. And there are a few story beats that don't make sense. There was one bit where something happens in the game, and then this character sits next to you and he says, you know, it's my fault, this and this. And you're thinking, what the fuck are you on about? A mistake? What did you do? How is this your fault? I don't understand. And I even had to Google, like, why does this character think this? And there's a whole Reddit post, people going like, oh yeah, it's because if you read the data bank, it tells you. And everyone's like, yeah, what the fuck? I was confused as well. I searched this up because I didn't understand. So there's like a story beat missing, I guess, in between two cutscenes, because you're just like, what? I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense anyway. I mean, I guess you meant to piece things together. Maybe the dialogue is telling you during combat or something. But obviously you're in combat, so you're not paying attention to what some of these characters are saying. I don't know, there's a few little things like that which bring the game down. I also did get the game for Christmas, so I didn't buy the game. Because that's the thing, when you buy a game for like 60 quid, $60, whatever, you do feel more like, oh, is it worth? I spent all this money on it, blah, blah, blah. Would I say it's worth it? Honestly, yeah. I would. I think it's a really good game. And you know what I think is interesting about this game is that if you really enjoy it and you like the combat a lot, because it is challenging, like I said, it is hard. I feel like it might get people to play Dark Souls and Sekiro and stuff like that, because it is a hard game. You've got to try. You have got to try on this game. Let's put difficulty down, obviously. And I feel like that might get people more interested in those kind of games, because it basically is that, but an easy version. If you're somebody who's played the game, Fallen Order, and you really liked it, but you've been scared maybe to play a Dark Souls game or Bloodborne, I would say definitely try it, because you're being familiar territory then. And if you're someone like me who was actually kind of scared to play Dark Souls and that because it's so hard, and you know, Bloodborne, I played it for an hour, didn't understand it, didn't play it for a year, went to click them but I failed, didn't play it for a year, went back to it, then I loved it, it's one of my favourite games of all time now. I feel like this is actually weirdly, it's a transition into those games. I know I'm bringing the completely different games, but I just feel like it kind of, you can see the inspirations that Star Wars Fallen Order has taken for sure. Would I recommend getting the game? Yes. Would I recommend getting it at 60 quid? If you've got, like, not a lot of money, but if you've got a lot of money to spare for that kind of shit for games, if you've got, like, you know, one game, okay, right, I can buy one game in the next 2 months, you know, wait for Final Fantasy VII Remake or Animal Crossing or something. If it's on sale for 30 quid, definitely. 100%. It is a good game. Very good game. I am surprised at how much I like it and how much I'm enjoying it. And I actually am really looking forward to sitting down and playing some more of it. I really like it. I think it's a great game. So that's my opinion on Star Wars Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order rather. If you play the game, leave a comment down below what you think. If you're interested in buying the game, but like, you know, maybe I've swayed you, or if you've got some questions about the game that maybe I can answer. I do read comments, by the way. I see some people saying, do I read comments? I always read the comments. Of course I do. I'm always interested in your opinions. So please leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.